If you watched the last episode, I said I was having some dental surgery and it would look and sound a little different. Turns out that I'll be this way for about 6 weeks. I considered not making September Song for that time or doing it all off camera with a text reader. Well, I decided that was just vanity. So here I am. There are things in life that you just can't live without. More precisely, things that we all consider too wonderful, comforting, humorous, or sentimental. The things we really like. These are Needful Things. Needful Things was a 1993 film of a Stephen King novel with the same name. It was about a shop called Needful Things in Castle Rock, Maine, an iconic Stephen King town. Leland Gaunt, played by Maximum Sydow, sells items to folks that they dearly need, or think they do. The items are clearly supernatural, and the story implies that Gaunt is the devil.
If it's too hot in here, Mr. Jewett, just say the word. I'm afraid I have a tendency to turn up the heat.
Well, I never intended this episode to be a film review. I just wanted to explain the title. Here are some things that I treasure and I find needful. Good books are important to me. The first book I ever read was The Wizard of Oz, and I can still picture myself lying on my bed there in Chattanooga reading that book. You all know that I'm a great science fiction fan, and my first book of that genre was I, Robot by Isaac Asimov. This was a collection of 9 sci-fi stories, but it's the robots I remember. Another of my needful things is good Southern cooking. I grew up in the South and loved fried chicken, fried okra, fried pork chops. You see the trend, fried stuff. All that fried stuff made me what I am today. Overweight and cholesterol saturated. My wife is a New Englander, so I don't eat Southern cooking as much as I used to, thank goodness. Disney World. I really get a kick out of this place. The Disney organization is a class act, and I recently ran across this short video clip that I produced in 2009 for a corporate client.
Here in Lake Buena Vista, Florida, on a 43 square mile plot, there's a lot to do. You can stand in front of this giant shiny ball, take a ride on a test track at breakneck speed without breaking your neck. Ride with Ellen DeGeneres through the Jurassic. Take a trip to Mars and China. Norway. This guy hasn't moved since we've been here. And Mexico. You can go to Africa and stand under this really big tree, but watch out for the birds. You can go to Tomorrowland. Actually, I was here yesterday, so does that mean it's Todayland now? But never mind.
The Internet. In the last episode, I told you how I had been without the Internet due to weather for a week. Now, you don't realize how much you depend on something until you don't have it. For example, last week's episode of September Song was truly short. I couldn't download any images to make the thing look right. Well, you can find everything on the net. It's sort of becoming the Encyclopedia Galactica. And if you've ever read Isaac Asimov's Foundation series, you'll know about that. There are a lot of other things that I find needful, but on the other hand, there are some things that I don't find needful or even necessary. How about neckties? Neckties go back as far as 1680. You just don't need a piece of cloth to hold your shirt neck closed. They invented buttons. Another unneedful thing are all those posts on Facebook about why it's important to teach kids to write in cursive. Well, I've never seen a good reason why. In my opinion, there are better ways for teachers to spend their time than in espousing good penmanship. They might as well be teaching Latin. Of course, if I had studied Latin, I would have been able to translate the Latin words written on the sign in the television series Lonesome Dove.
That ain't bad enough to get all them Greek words on there, too. I told you, Woodrow, a long time ago, it ain't Greek, it's Latin.
Well, what does it say, that Latin?
Well, it's a motto. It just says itself. Jovarum feet. Jovarum double feet, whatever.
You don't have no idea what it says. You found that in some old book or something.
Oh, by the way, the translation of the Latin words on the sign is, "The grape changes its hue, ripens by looking at another grape." But that's not Latin, it's the language of the gibbers. You know, gibberish. I almost missed that myself. It's written in cursive. Well, think about some of your needful things and things that just don't make any sense at all.